I'm about to give you a step-by-step guide on how to get what you want and take the reasonable actions to attaining those goals. You've got to take life by the horns, by the bush. Failure's mindset, like it has to be perfect or it is nothing. When you stop to make comparison with others, that's time you're losing out on your own. Because if you actually don't end up saying any of the things that you want to be or who you think you can be, you just realize you're actually nothing. Sometimes the goals that we have for it might contradict each other. I think when you take life little by little, you will get to that bigger picture. Hello guys, my name is Nkemeknti. It's lovely to see you again. It's been a while. Happy 2025. I am ready to make this year one of the best years of my life. So I remember it was 2027 and at the beginning of the year I had written this list of things that I wanted to accomplish because I was very intent about making the most of my 17th year on earth. And when I had reached the end of the year and I've opened my journal to see the things in which I had written and hoped that I achieved them, I was so disappointed to realize that nothing on that list was actually achieved. And it made me feel really bad about setting goals. I was so scared for the couple of years after that to actually set goals because I felt like, oh, I wouldn't be able to achieve it. So I guess I will just go into the year not setting goals or just live my life without making a certain plan because I was scared that at the end of the year I will be disappointed if I make elaborate plans about my life and not achieve them. But there are a few things I've learned about the mistakes of my 17-year-old self. So I want to share that with you and show you how to set goals going into 2025. So the difference between my mindset in 2027 and now my mindset in 2025 is wishes versus want. In 2027, I was just wishing my life away and saying, I wish I could have this, a chance or an opportunity to do this. I think when you think about the amazing things happening in your life, it is so much more simpler and so much more easier for you to hope that it happens to you. But most of the time, the people who are found to be very successful are people who actually take the actions to create that dream for themselves, the people who create opportunities for themselves. So going into 2025, you don't leave your dreams or your goals to chances. That's where you become the creator of your own reality to a certain extent. Life throws its own random lemons and you can make lemonade from it, but the biggest factor of how that journey is yourself. So here are some of the steps. Step 1, create actionable steps. I want to be a writer. That's not specific. I want to be this type of writer. Where do I start by being a writer? I have this idea to write a book. What book do I have to write? What's the purpose of the book? Thinking about the purpose of the book, how soon do I think I want to make this purpose put fuel into the wall? And maybe I might tell myself, I think because I have this idea, I should write it by July. So the actionable step that I would take would be to also understand my life and say I'm a student or I've got a job and this amount of my time is taken up by other responsibilities. So thinking about the fact that maybe I have 2 hours each day to sit down, I can believe in myself or set the goal for myself that maybe I can write 1 chapter a month, and then by July, I think, which is the 7th month of the year, I should be able to write 7 chapters. And in my book, how many chapters do I want? Being able to create those little goals get you to a bigger goal. You're not just thinking about the big image of what you want to be anymore. You're thinking about the little actions you have to take to get yourself to where you want to be. But you have to force yourself and sit down and create those steps so that it makes the journey easier for you. If you do need the necessary tools that are required for like a habit tracker or maybe a bingo card, like a bingo card, even when it's not about the big goal that you have for an entire year, it might just be that one project you want to do for that year, and then you create that bingo card for it. Try to hit as many marks as you've created for yourself, and that's where your goals become easier to reach. So now you might want to visualize your life, what is missing, what you desire in your career, in your relationship, maybe your sense of style, the way you want to speak, even your finances, and even the habit of your finances. One of the ways to realize is that these things are very intertwined. So your goals shouldn't contradict each other. You're thinking a lot about the things that you might not have. You now make these elaborate ideas of the things that you want. These things are so intertwined that sometimes the goals that we have for it might contradict each other. You might tell yourself, I have a goal this year to buy a house, or you might also say, I have a goal this year to buy a car. How is your finances or career aiding this goal? If you get a car, does it give you the allowance for you to get an apartment or move to a new city? If you decide to work on your sense of style, which means you have to buy a new wardrobe of things that you want or like, does it give you the allowance to be able to save up on the house that you wanted? Like, what is your set of priorities? What is so much more important? What stands as a need that is much more fulfilling for your life in comparison to any other thing? So it's not just wanting or having this big image of your life. I think when you take life little by little, you will get to that bigger picture. So our dreams sometimes are wild, and it's very easy for us to lead with a little bit of delusion. But what works for me is making sure to make a plan that is in line with the reality that I'm living in, and then I can leave a tad bit of space for delusion. I can't say this one, I have to read it. So I say, if your goal was to get a MacBook and a camera lens, it actually starts from your finances, either having a source of income to get that. If I have a source of income to get myself this, how much of my monthly income is retained after daily expenses? And also, what financial habits are keeping me away from possibly getting closer to my financial goal to get this thing that I want? There has to be this set of actions or this set of habits that follow for you to be able to get that. When you do have set amount of goals, sometimes they do contradict each other, and it actually doesn't give you the space. If you do say, I want more money, I want to make more money, it also means that you have less time, and that ends up influencing other goals that you might have. If we are given the luxury of time, we don't have the luxury of money. But if you are given the luxury of money, we don't have time. We have so many responsibilities that take up these things. In setting goals is also being aware of how much your time is being taken up by other responsibilities, and how much you also set time out for yourself to do the things that you told yourself you were going to accomplish this year. My goals are set up on another goal. In the way that I see it, it's like, if I want to create more content this year, maybe if I do get a camera, I'm going to create content that I like, or the quality of content that I like. And because I like the quality of content I'm creating, I can create more consistently, and maybe I might find my audience. And now it's helping me hit another goal by creating more consistently and maybe finding the audience that I want. I'll be able to get closer to the goal of building a community, or telling myself, oh, if I'm gonna be getting 100K on any social media platform this year, it's all a build up of one action that leads me to achieving another goal. It's by saving money, or it's by earning more, that I know I can reach my financial goals. It's by eating more healthy that I know that I do have a healthy body. It's by going to the doctors more often to get myself checked that I can be very well assured that I am okay. Use the most common and successful tools to keep you accountable: vision board, bingo cards, habit trackers, journaling, to-do list. All these things are things that people use. So the vision board might create the big picture for you. The bingo card might give you ideas on targets to hit. And then maybe your habit tracker is the one that regulates you daily on what you want to do. And your to-do list is something that reminds you of the things that you needed to get done. All these tools are so necessary for your daily life to be able to get to those goals. It helps you visualize. It takes it from the head, creates a picture out of your head. Seeing a picture helps you have a clearer idea of points you're missing or point in which you're actually doing something. Don't wait for the perfect time. I learned this so well in 2023. Yes. Did I? Yes, was it 2023? Yes, this is 2025. 3. Here is the story. Had moved into this school during my master's, and when I first moved in, they told us, oh, we all had the opportunity of living by ourselves. They admitted so many students that they had to turn the single rooms into shared rooms. I remember living with someone that I really didn't like. I've always had the privilege of living by myself. When I had to live with someone, I had not realized that I'd never lived with someone for so long. It was so uncomfortable, and I had this set of goals of me just wanting to create content, and that was my year of just wanting to try on content creation. And I felt like I would be so limited if I had to live in with someone else. I did try to talk to the girl, considering I was the first person that moved in. And it was a thing where it became very conflicted because every word that was said became a thing where it felt like I was trying to fight her. I said to myself, people told me, the school said, oh, be patient with it. She's gonna leave by this time of the year and you'll be fine. And in my head, I considered in what ways would I be able to create content living with someone. I decided we had the opportunity of moving to another building, but this building they had requirements before you could move in. I fought for it. Normally, I would be someone that said, oh, I'll wait around. I'll wait around. Yeah, yes, I would look forward to the time that she gets to move. I actually started taking life by force. I was like, this is my priority. My priority is that I want to create content, so I want to have space to myself. I want to think, I want to write, I want to edit. And do you know what was my boiling point? It was when I was editing a video and she came into the room and she turned off the lights, and I said, no, this is not it. This is not my reality. That was my first priority. So knowing that that was my priority, I had to make change for that thing to manifest in my life. So that's why I say do not wait for time. You've got to take life by the horns, by the bush. Whatever you choose or decide to focus on this year, make it a priority to take care of it. Always think of a way, even when there is no way. Even if you fell in June, July is a new month. Even if you fell on the 10th, 12th is a new day. If you fell on Friday, maybe Monday is a day. Before, rotting used to feel like I'm sipping into depression, but now I rot and then I know that the next day I'm going to pick myself back up and start again. I'm going to post a video and it likely will flop and no one is going to watch it, but the next day I still have those ideas, so I have to still pick myself back up. Waiting for the perfect moment is how you miss out on so many beautiful moments. So one of the things I said, don't wait around for the year. Don't wait and wait till a new time comes. Create that change through the year. Rot season happens, change happens, is the ability to navigate this change when it occurs. Check in monthly, bi-weekly on your habits, and that's how you get closer to achieving your goal. So I follow that up by saying that consistency is so much more better than perfection. And I, as someone who has always been a perfectionist, I watch the people I love and I realize that sometimes the reason why I like them is because they're showing up so authentically. And as much as I admire people's talents and skills that take time and takes perfection, I also admire people's ability to show up consistent. Is the all or nothing mindset is like because I have not worked out today, I likely wouldn't work out the next 2 days. If I've decided to just go back on my dieting goals, obviously I failed myself, I'm not gonna do it. It's almost like a failure's mindset, like it has to be perfect or it is nothing, right? It means like, oh, you cannot lose out of control. You have to wiggle out your intensity of wanting to control everything, and I feel like that's where it comes in. Like, perfectionists have to let go. I feel like this is also a lesson for me to strongly try to be more consistent than being a perfectionist. All right, so here is my next point. I actually feel like I want to read this for you. So your mindset is very important in how much closer you get to achieving something. The mindset to follow, and it applies to life, is not making comparisons with other people. When you stop to make comparison with others, that's time you're losing out on your own journey. Remember that our purposes are not the same. And as much as they have their own set of reward, maybe their own set of reward wouldn't give you a sense of fulfillment. Pressure makes diamonds, but they also break them. So, one of the things I learned is just really not comparing myself, always finding a strong suit within myself to be confident in my own ability, or to even be confident even when I feel like I'm lacking behind in many things. So, always have confidence in yourself. And if the world is too loud, zone them out, be quiet. Quiet them out, starve them. Don't make comparison with other people on what they're achieving and what you aren't, and just focus on your own goal and focus on your own journey. This might be controversial because I believe in both chances. Shut up about your goals. I mean it. Like, actually, stop telling your friends every single idea that you have. This idea, not because I believe your friends might not be good people or for any reason. One of the things that I have an issue with is that if I end up having a conversation of an idea or a thought process that I have and share it with my friends, I end up not wanting to make a video to post about that thought process because I've shared it with someone. But I believe it's almost like a thought process that many other people would love to hear. So when I realized that, and half of the reason because my friends are mostly the people following me on Instagram. So it almost seems like, oh, I have already shared this idea. I guess it's not that impactful anymore. Learned a little bit to be more silent. One being that people tend to influence or have things to say about your own goals. Another thing is, like, even if you do strongly believe in it or strongly believe in the things you want to do, there are thought processes that people have that ends up influencing how you might have felt about something. And when you go back to yourself, it seeps into your ideas, and maybe it creates doubt sometimes. It makes you wonder about things. So I strongly believe, like, being really quiet sometimes and just moving quietly forces you to actually show up and create results. Because if you actually don't end up saying any of the things that you want to be or who you think you can be, anyone, you just realize you're actually nothing, right? If I never decide to pick up a camera and state this idea that I have, or if I decide to not ever make this thing that I have, no one will actually realize that I had this idea or I'm as brilliant as I think I am, right? It's an idea that doesn't exist anywhere in the world. So it's similar to what you're doing when you're telling your friends. And it doesn't mean when you do tell someone, it means that that idea has been established into the world. Not really. It more so gives them an image of who you are or the ideas that you have. But most ideas are meant to be implemented and not just to be said. And that's why I somehow stopped talking a lot about what I think or what I feel, and more so just trying to do it, because that's the only way in which it exists. So those are just the simple ideas and ways in which I think I would go about goal setting in 2025. So I made a list of the things I want to work on this year. First thing is my finances, and I strongly have different streams of income, and I do also have, like, I have a savings target or just a financial what should be sitting in my bank account for this year. I also have, just working on YouTube, there are some goals that I want for YouTube this year. Goals, another section of my goals this year is my life goals. Those are things like, I do want my big girl apartment. I want a stable career. Another life goal that I do have is to want to write a book, and I also really want to create and have a massive YouTube audience. And some of my personal goals are in relation to my family and also my health. And those are just the areas of my life that I have to work on this year and I have to focus on. So those might seem very tiny and when they're being said, but those are things that need actions every single day for them to be established. And I do really, really hope time for change is infinite. What happens, you go in and you come out of it. Life is just never linear. Whenever you're down, just pick yourself back up. the year is very long, and also just do not wait for the year for you to want to create a new life. Don't say yes, 26 is gonna be my year, or like I never really think any year is gonna be my year. I'm just happy to be here. I feel like my life doesn't have a benchmark or like a peak point where I'm like, I just feel like as long as I feel I'm doing okay and I don't wait around for a year to make that establishment for me or to give me that convincing that I am okay. I do hope 2025 is good for you, in good health, amazing relationship, careers. I also hope that your heart desires are actualized. I pray so for myself too. Wishing you a very happy 2025. My name is Nkemeknti. See you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.